And there we go. Hello, hello. I am Amanda, the Scraptastic Crocheter, and let's just have some crochet fun for a little bit. I want to fix something really quick. Where do I do that? There we go. Hello, Tracy. How are you doing? You home yet? Hope you're doing good. Spoonies! You came home last Sunday. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome. Not a time you expect me live? No, me neither. Me neither. There we go. Okay, so I think I got what I wanted here. How are you guys doing? It is a little bit of a surprise to have me here today. Yes, maybe. I should have been here all week. I haven't been here anytime during this week because my body didn't let me. Unfortunately, I guess I just wasn't supposed to stream this week, but I really wanted to because it's my week with no mini-me at home, and she comes home today. So I just have to take the opportunity these last few hours before I will be busy with her again. And it's also her birthday today. How about that? It's Mini-me's 6th birthday today. I'll be tucking youngest into bed soon. Well, that sounds like a plan. And then you get to hang out. You have a huge hole in your right leg. You still have a vac thingy on it. So I'm guessing more hospital trips in your near future to get that sorted. And I'm guessing the same as for me with not moving around much. My foot is feeling better. Unfortunately, my neck and shoulders have totally disagreed with me on crutches. So neck and back they just gave up on me a bit. And I did have some hip issues from before I hurt my foot. So now it's just, yeah, trying to heal everything at once, I guess. Neck and shoulders better. What has been killing me, or not killing me, but like what has been the most annoying thing this week, and has had me pretty much in a grumpy mood all week, has been my lower back and my hip. And I have barely managed to get out of bed a few days this week. So yeah, no good. At least I am up and running again. Feels better. Just, I guess, I don't know I didn't really do anything. Maybe that's what it's, I broke my foot slipping on ice. And the crutches, like my neck and shoulders were already a bit of a, they were a bit iffy from before that. I've always had some issues from like an old injury. I usually don't complain about it, but now it has been causing issues. Where am I supposed to be on this round? There. Blue. Blue is where we're going today. Yeah, ice is no fun. It was like icy and snowy when I fell, or I took a wrong step. Okay. This should be a fairly straightforward row, so that's nice. I am just starting another section on this mixology. This is what it looks like, these last few rows. You were thinking of me within the past hour and sandwich cakes. You hungry? And here I am. So that's the center, this little white flower. And this is a corner so far. Yeah, falling on ice hurts your whole body for sure. So we have this little very bumpy row. We got some popcorns over here. Spoon, do you see what these white stitches are over here? We've had a full row of puff stitches. There's 65 puff stitches on each side. So that times 4. We've got puffies. There's a few puff stitches here and there in this pattern, but not as many as some of the other patterns. Here's some puff stitches. Most of the stitches are clusters or front post popcorns and popcorns. There's not a lot of puff stitches really, to be honest, but of course we need some puffies. Where's that one? I've been working on something else that had a little bit more puff stitches, I think. Yeah, there's some more puff stitches in this one. We got some puff stitches in the middle, but also a lot of clusters. I think you can see there's a few puff stitches in the center. Sandwich cakes reminds you of the fancy mini sandwiches for afternoon tea. Yeah, I can see that. How you can think about that. Yep, for sure. I have never had afternoon tea, but I did fall down the rabbit hole of watching YouTubers like go and try different afternoon teas, like the fanciest afternoon teas, or like the most expensive and the least expensive. So there's a rabbit hole with afternoon tea, and I fell down there I want to say about a year ago. It's been a while since I watched that. I think I couldn't really find anything new and interesting. I had already seen what was available at the time, or at least that I could find through my searches. Puff stitch addictions? I don't think so. I figured you'd get a good laugh out of it, that I keep doing things with puff stitches. But what can I say? Like, this designer does awesome designs, and she likes puff stitches. So, I don't really have a choice. Oh, right, the temperature blanket. Yeah, no, I've never had it. I'm in Sweden. We don't have afternoon tea here. The temperature blanket this month. We have more puffies in that one. This is so far of February. We do have some puff stitches in the center here, and then there's some puff stitches over here. So this is up until yesterday. And January ended up looking like so. with the colors. I miss you too, Tracy. You're laughing at my secret love for puff stitches. No, there's no love for puff stitches. Oh, there's puff stitches here as well. These are puff stitches. They're sneaking in. Yeah, it's been cold. This very blue, that's the coldest temperature. So as you can tell, we've had a lot of very cold days now in a row. And I decided that all the months that has lesser amount of days, especially now February, but like the months that has 30 days, they will start with the center being purple, because the purple is my filler color. And I figured instead of having like a multiple rows at the end, because I will have multiple rows at the end anyway, being purple, because purple is the joining color, that I'd also have the center being purple of the days that has, or the months that has shorter amount of days. So that's why that one's purple. It's not a color of a temperature. It's actually just a filler. Because I thought a couple of them with the purple center is gonna look cool. The warmest we've had is over here. I kind of also think that it looks nice, because we're gonna have purple joining. I figured I'd just do like the border row. I have no idea how I'm gonna join them later, but there's gonna be some purple in the middle or like around them all, so might as well do that too, like a little fun touch. We haven't had any warmer days here. Like here we had this light green, some light green again, and then this darker green or teal. But we have no green whatsoever here. We only have the 3 shades of blue. So it's been really cold. So yeah, that's what we have for today. We still have a couple of more rows before we're finished with this month. A week. It's gonna be fun to see how this turns out. That actually looks good like that too. All these colors just look good together. It could have just been like this. That is a cute view. Like a half and half. You do see the difference. You'd think that January would be colder than February. Hello, Marcus. How are you doing? Good to see you. What shenanigans are you up to today? It's cold here. As you can tell, we've had a cold month. Very cold. But yeah, that's the update of the temperature blanket. We also have a birthday present I have to open in a little bit. I figured I'd hang out for a little bit before we open presents. Because it was my birthday stream. Well, 2 weeks ago. You're driving? Where are you going? You up to no good, out and about? Yeah, no, my birthday stream, I had a little extra something something. Ladybird Loves had a little special surprise with a giveaway on my live stream. And Andy the Crafty Witch, she won a prize. And then Ladybird herself made an entry for me, and she won. And then Andy gifted her winnings to me as well. So I got a double prize as a birthday present. And it has arrived. So we need to take a look at what I got. It was nearly 80 in Louisiana yesterday. Would that be a cold or a warm day? 80. I want to say that's on the higher side. All the temperatures, all the conversions. It's tricky, but we can get a 80 is warm, okay. See what we have to play around with today, if Nightbot's awake. Okay, so it's not bad at all right now. It has been a lot colder than this. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm jealous. That's bikini weather. Give me some. We've been below freezing since, well, I want to say, where are we at? Okay, anything in the light green is below freezing. So this is above freezing over here. So that's sometime mid-January. Since then, it's been below freezing. Yeah, this is the first above freezing temperature, and that's, well, about a month ago. We're on about the same rows. So yeah, a month ago. It's been cold since then. But yeah, back to my little giveaway birthday special thing. I wasn't expecting anything out of that. It was like, okay, nice, you want to do a giveaway. Awesome. One of the prizes was a gift card to her Etsy store. And the other prize was hanky stitch markers. She does stitch markers that looks like small little hanks of yarn. So this is what I got. I haven't really taken a look at it. I got it out of the package because I wanted to, like, you guys get to see it with me, you know? How about we do that? We move this to the side a little bit. And then we can have them lined up a little bit better here so you can see them. But the hanks was one price, and then I got to actually she custom made some stitch markers for me, or like the hanks, the colors and stuff. So I don't really know what we have here other than it is a bunch of stitch markers, and it's a bunch, like a lot. So these mini hanks is her specialties. She also despised pink, so I was like, let's put some pink in there. Not to be evil, it's more like I can take some pink off of you so you get less pink on your hands. Apparently gloves is needed for that, but yes, I get not everyone loves all the colors. So we have all the hanks on one side and then the other stuff. So yeah, the gift card was from her Etsy store, and I got to sit and take a look at all the stuff she had in her Etsy store, and we had a little video call figuring things out, what I wanted and whatnot. So I really just, like, I knew the hanky stitch markers was her thing. I'd seen so many people get her stitch markers, like these ones, little yarn hanks, and that's pretty much like, that's what I knew. I had not honestly checked her Etsy store out before, so I was really surprised about all this different stitch markers, and she can do, like, make them into earrings and stuff too. This was me asking for neon green and purple, so that's her interpretation of that. I think it looks really cute. I did get to pick, like, colors in, I gave her very free hands on this. Like, give me some shades of purple, maybe something teal, neon green, something shiny, and something pink. And this is what we got. So we got this awesome combination. Lavendery purple and this very green. We have a very purpley, like a bluish purple, really cute. And these have lobster claw clasps. She had different options, like you could So many different options. I bet gloves was needed to make this one. We have 2 shades of pink. I think it almost looks like a candy cane with the pink and white, but it's actually a really, really light pink color. The color that looks white, it is a pink. What do we have here? We have something really fun. We got 3 colors, 4 colors. It is maybe a white, a baby pink, a more hot pink, and a blue. Yeah, you got way better weather than I do. You can sit outside and just enjoy that weather for sure. We got something shiny or sparkly. It's looking like, it kind of feels like there's rainbow. Do you guys see that? Let's see, can we get the colors? Is it too shiny? Oh, maybe there. There's like a rainbow of shininess, because I see plenty of different shades in this. I see greens and blues and purples. Very fun. This, you can tell that this is some type of metallic-y thread. It is, I bet this would work good as like a scrubby. Or like a thread to have together with something else for a fun effect. So that's awesome. And here we got the tealy. Oh, it's really shiny. It's really shiny and soft. This feels very like smooth. So we got a tealy one. And we got another shade of purple. This is more of a like a pinkish purple compared to this one being like a bluish purple. But I still say that that's a purple. It doesn't feel pink. So those. And then I saw this one on her Etsy store. I thought this was really cute. This like filigree type of pattern. And I liked, she had a bunch of different colors of these, but I did like the green, and it's 2 shades. It's actually like a darker and a lighter, so that was really nice. Very cute. And I saw these ones. These are letters. I have A, because I'm Amanda for sure, right? And then I have a C, which is big kid. So I got big kids. And then I got mini me. So I got me and the kids. And the beads are all different colors. We got like a purpley, is it purple and gold? Pink and green. And this is like a reddish blue. This one also has like some type of pattern in it. Don't mind my nails. Yeah, I think there's like some type of goldeny flecks or little swirlies in the beads. You can see the stripes there. So me and the kids, we got one each. And I wanted something Halloween-y. So this, definitely Halloween-y. You can't go wrong with Halloween-y stuff. I felt like that was definitely needed. She had a bunch of different fun ones. And this was just a surprise because she threw something in just because. I think it's a water bottle. Volvic. I don't know what that is. And a cute little mini bottle. So that was a bonus. And I'm really happy with what I got here. So there's like the present from Andy, since she gifted me her gift, and then the gift card. So I got to pick and choose. And I loved it. It was really awesome. And it came in this little cute baggie, but I am going to put them on my little special pillow here. I have a pillow here with a bunch of stitch markers that I've been gifted. So these are a bunch of handmade gifts, and then the stitch markers I've made myself. Not that many, but I have made some myself, and they hang on one side, and then all the other ones are on the other side. Some of these are from Florida. We got one from two from California. We got some from Rita. It's a water brand in a square-shaped bottle. It didn't really look square-shaped. This looks like a very round bottle. Your favorite brand for a while. That's cool. So I'm gonna add this to my little collection of stitch markers here. I want to say that these ones are gonna look awesome hanging on this side. If I can just get them to hang here. And these are all made in the UK. The ones I got now. I did put a link to the channels down below, thanking for my birthday presents. And see, look who's here. I just opened prezzies and I'm happy. Yeah, that looks fun. Maybe I should have put, because these are quite long too. You don't want them to disappear. But this one, yeah, this one is so awesome. There we go. What? Slippery. Yeah, you can rewatch for sure. You missed it. It's awesome. I did choose the red. I did. Oh, come on. I have a feeling that if I show Mini-Me the one that has her letter on it, she might steal it. So I don't know if I dare to show it to her. Because she's also going to claim that it's her birthday today, so she can claim it for that reason. Water bottle is obviously all about hydration. Ah, well that makes sense. For sure that makes sense. I'm going to put that one down here. See, all my specialties on this one. Maybe it looks a little bit lopsided now, but that's fun. It's awesome. I'm thinking, like, do I have to color coordinate so I use these on projects that has matching colors, you know? Maybe I will have to do that. Like if I do something with this color, because I do have some yarn in this color, maybe that's the one I have to go to for that. That would be kind of fun. That now I have the option to color coordinate the stitch markers with my projects. And it has a little designated spots hanging out over there. These are very handy. I'm gonna definitely get some good use of this. Mini-Me has so many things that needs to go in stuff, and that is perfect for that. You did get here at the right time. You did. I'm not expecting to be able to stay for too long. I have some stuff I need to prep. It's gonna be a lot of things going on this weekend for me. Mini-Me's birthday today, and well, my birthday was about 2 weeks ago. And today we will be celebrating my dad's with some dinner. So I need to figure out what to wear for that and, you know, transport myself over to my dad's. for dinner, and tomorrow it's Mini-Me's birthday party with some grandparents, uncle, some cousins, kids. Yeah, we're gonna have a busy weekend. And since I wasn't able to come and hang out anything earlier this week, this was kind of my last chance to come and hang out, and I took it. I was just thinking like, oh, well, maybe I can just record a little video of me opening my present. But it's more fun to hang out with you guys than just, put up a video. I could have done that. But you guys are, hanging out here is way more fun. So what are you guys up to? Morning coffee for some, I'm assuming. Okay, yeah, the colors are looking good with the... Good morning, David. The yellow looks familiar. The yellow in this one? Are these the yarns I got a lot of from Hobie? This is yarn I got a lot of from Hobie, but I didn't get them from Hobie. I got them from Rita. Most all of them. The blue, or like petrol blue, I got that one in a Christmas yarn swap like a bunch of years ago. That one is actually a really big one. Oh, I have things in the way. Let's move things out of the way, and things will be so much easier. Sorry about that. The blue one's actually a mega ball, so this one is really big. Mega ball. We love yarn, yeah. So it's this like petrol-y type of a blue, and I did get a bunch. Rita has been destashing, and she also has some in the advent from, not this advent, but the previous advent. I got a bunch of these everyday acrylics. So I have these 3 shades. And this like yellowy, egg yolky one, and hot pink. All of these came from Rita in one time or another. So it is DK weight, 100% acrylic. And I am just gonna use all of this to make, yeah, I know you don't like pink. She despises pink. Did you use gloves while making my hanky stitch markers? Question mark. Because you said that gloves are needed for pink stuff. But yeah, if you don't know about this blanket that I'm currently working on, I have previously made blankets and shawls for family members that have been going through the fun, not so fun at all, battle with cancer. And now I have another family member that recently got diagnosed with breast cancer. So I needed to make something happy, a blanket to cuddle up underneath with, chemo chills and whatnot. And I had a blanket amount of yarn, these colors, and I'm making the best out of it. This is, of course, like most of my blankets, a hooked on sunshine pattern design. It's actually a 3-in-1 because there's 3 different patterns combined. So there's hooked on Christmas, and then there's the other one, Oh yeah, it's a difficult one to pronounce, but it's also the Ardith Big Girl that I did a blanket for Mini-Me. What's it called? This one. Soliloquy at Sunset. Soliloquy. Yeah, that's the word. Tricky one. So it's a 3-in-1 blanket, and now I'm working on a section that's like in between one of the patterns to switch over to the other one, and there's some stuff that happens in between for the pattern, I guess, for the math to be mathing from one pattern to another. So I'm on an in-between section, and I did go for the blue again, because we have this section here with these, like, I guess, type of shells. If that, yeah, I feel like it's like a slanted leaning shell thing. And we're doing the same thing again. So it just felt like, I don't know, this comes up a couple of times during the pattern in different places. I don't know if all of them are going to be blue, but I feel like, I don't know, it kind of looks like waves when I make them blue. So that's why we're doing blue now, because we're going to get the same little divide. Thank you. So I did not get any coffee for this stream. I had some coffee this morning. I was up early this morning so that I could sing for Mini-Me and get her breakfast in bed. Since she is at her dad's, I had to get over there to do that, and we had coffee when she had breakfast, and then I got dropped off at home, and I'll be picked up later so that we can have some celebrations at my dad's. It's gonna be awesome. But no coffee for now. Maybe I should have, I don't know. I have water, so I can hydrate. Like with that little cute water bottle stitch marker I got. But I hope you guys have like coffee or tea or something. It would just be another thing that would take up time to make coffee while I could hang out here instead. I did get myself all like pretty much ready to go. I don't know what to wear, but I fixed my hair and stuff. So I am pretty much good to go. So I'd say what, it's 1 o'clock for me now. Maybe 3 hours more or so before I have to go. You don't have a drink next to you, but you have a cat under your armpit. Under your armpit of all places? Under your armpit. Yeah, no, that's not where I expect to find cats. Strawberry peach tea. That sounds nice. I'm not much of a tea person, but that sounds like an okay type of tea. Maybe on the sweeter side. You're sampling tea for afternoon teas? Oh, fancy. So you do afternoon teas? Like the proper way? With the little sandwiches and stuff? I'm guessing you're doing that for funsies at home? Pretty much fruit juice. So, fairly sweet. Teaspoon wants to start afternoon teas. So you need to practice making little small sandwiches. I think cucumber sandwiches is apparently a must. And then some desserty stuff. But right, Japanese sandwiches are really weird. You got all of them like cream and fruit filled ones. That is way not the same. I guess it's a combination. You get sandwich and you get dessert all at once, but you didn't go to bed until 4 a.m. and then you got up at 7:30. You struggled to get up. Well, I can imagine. That doesn't sound like a good way to start the morning. And I'm all too familiar with those type of hours. Yep. Happens a lot. You're going to the store tomorrow. You're Canadian. We did tea every day. You got this. Well, I don't know if that's the same thing. You know, just because you like tea, do you have the same traditions? I don't think afternoon tea and Canada in the same sentence is. Yeah, no, that never never happened before. 4 p.m. tea time is a Canadian tradition. I had no clue. When my grandma was still alive, 4 o'clock was gin and tonic time on her little, or one of the little patios she had on her little summer house. 4 o'clock that was gin and tonic o'clock. That was just how things were. Yeah, afternoon tea is something I just, it's for me that's UK, because Queen and her traditions. I don't remember what Queen started the traditions, but it's very tradition bound. Hello, Jay. How are you doing today? Good to see you. Hope you're having a good Friday. Or is it Friday? Yay! Any fun weekend plans, you guys? Will you guys have time to crochet? Are you watching the Olympics? Have you been catching up with things Olympics? And I have to ask, Spoon, Canada in curling. Do you have any opinions? Are you up to speed on what is going on with the Canadian curling men and the little thing going on? I'm just curious because, yeah, it's become a big topic over here. The 7th Duchess of Bedford, Anna Maria Russell. 1840, that's I thought it was a queen that started it, that it was a queen, but maybe it was a duchess. The Olympics has been very entertaining, as always. Sweden has had a couple of awesome medals that we were not expecting. Then again, like, you can never really expect one. You have higher hopes on some participants than others. Like, the ones that has already won a gold in a previous Olympics, of course you think that they might have a chance to get another gold. And players or people that has never participated, you don't really know what to expect. Some of them. You've been watching the curling. It's your favorite Olympic sport. Queen Victoria loved having tea and afternoon kicks. You haven't watched in a couple of days. You're traveling. Oh, is it a hospital visit run? Last thing you saw was men's freestyle ice skating and moguls. Moguls was interesting. We had Walter Wallberg and had some high expectations on him, and well, not high expectations. His way to the Olympics this year. I feel so bad for him. Now there's been a whole debacle about the Canadian men's and curling cheating scandal. Yeah, there's been a big talk about that, especially since it was the Swedes that called them out on it. And now, yeah, of course it's a big topic in Sweden because it was Sweden-Canada match. Half of your family is in Canada, so you always bet between Canada and the US. And curling is your family tradition. I've been really enjoying like seeing like in the hockey and the curling, like Sweden versus the US, Sweden versus Canada. Sweden versus Norway is not as fun to see, to be honest. Like skiing, that it's, Sweden, Norway, we're always fighting. And also with Finland, because Finland and Norway and Sweden are like all neighbors. Denmark usually has, they're better at some other sports. But it's always fun. Like it's friendly rivalry type of thing over here. But when it comes to the games with Sweden versus like US and Canada, it's like, yeah, I need to look at this. It's extra fun for some reason. You haven't seen it? You watched the men's curling at the start of the trip? Yeah, no, it's a whole thing. It's getting memed. There's like one of the Swedish skiers, I don't know what it was. It was the relay, and one of the Swedish girls tripped, and it was just the most, I don't even know, like the most weird trip I've ever seen. And then they memed it so that like it looks like he's touching her foot instead. There was a big thing. Like first it was the Canadian men that got called out by the Swedes, and then the Canadian women also got called out for cheating, and they even had a stone that was like it didn't count. So yeah, there's a whole thing about this. Okay, so this is what it actually, like, it turned out to a big fight. Or, like, they were arguing loudly. And the Canadian guy called out to the Swede that I didn't fucking touch it. He didn't touch the stone. We have it on video. You didn't touch the stone. They made a stamp out of it. Or, like, someone memed, it's a fake stamp. But he's yelling at the Swede, like, I didn't fucking touch it. That's where we ended up with this. Just say it. It's very interesting. And the Canadian team refuses to speak with the Swedish journalists. Because it was a Swedish journalist that caught it on camera. I am also very much looking forward to more Melodifestivalen this weekend, because it's the season of Melodifestivalen. Who is gonna represent Sweden in Eurovision Song Contest in May? We will know in a couple of weeks, but I think we've already heard the winning song, even though there's 2 more weeks of new songs to be presented. But I think we have already heard the winning song. I think so. You have to intentionally go watch the replays. Yes, Sweden, Canada men's. That's what you need to watch. Very interesting one. Something that has really, I don't know, it got me thinking about the judges in curling. They just don't do much. They just sit there and they don't do much. So when became a thing, like the judges didn't know what to do. They were like very passive. Clearly, the level of the judges have, yeah, there needs to be like up the game of judges in some sports. We're talking about the Olympics. You'd expect the judges to be a little bit more up to speed and not shrug their shoulders and be like, I don't know. You were into the drama around the Ilya Melinin? Yeah, I heard something about like the ice was too soft, as well as all the expectations on him got the better of him. But the softness of the ice, too many competitors have already been on the ice since they last. Well, I don't know what do you say when you. Well, you fix the ice. You get the. What is it called? Zamboni or something like that out. There's still plenty of sports left, but it feels like today wasn't a lot going on. We've had like all day Olympic studio thing going on the TV, and today it wasn't as much. But we also have two channels broadcasting different things, so maybe it was just like one channel's doing everything today or in the early part of the day, and then there's more going on in the afternoon. But I'm thinking like there's still a lot of chances for medals. How's the standing going? Like we have the Sweden is number 6 when it comes to medals. Norway has 16 gold medals. 34 medals in total. It's all in Swedish here, but the US has 9. Italy's got 9 golds. And then Sweden's on number 6. Where's Canada? Canada is 11. 4 gold. 15 medals. I thought Canada would be higher up. But I think the biggest one of them all is the Brazil has a gold medal. I don't remember what sport that was. But there was, because Norway has so many participants in so many different sports that there's a bunch of Norwegians that has like switched countries because they can't compete with the best in some of their sports. There are just like so many of them. So there was I'm assuming he has some type of like half Brazil or something, so that he could get a Brazilian citizenship and participate for them. So Norwegian took a gold for Brazil. It just did not see that coming. It's fun though. The countries that you normally don't see in like Winter Olympics that don't have snow, they don't have mountains, they don't have the best what do you call it, grounds, I guess, maybe for They just don't have the right climate to practice. But they get the chance sometimes. Yeah, I did see that the Kazakian one that got a medal. He looked very shocked. He was not expecting that at all. But it is nice to see when people that don't expect to get medals, they just like they shock themselves. Those are really nice to actually watch. Very wholesome, very fun. So you've been traveling. Are you still out and about? Or are you back home? Yeah, just the fact that Brazilian won an alpine skiing event. I recently heard something about a Norwegian, like he's half Danish, and he's considering to just switch to compete for Denmark instead, just because Denmark don't have that many um, like that they don't have as many participants, so it's a I guess a better chance of getting a spot in Denmark than in a Norwegian team. You're back home from the travels? You're zoning out and being zombie mode? You were driving in Tokyo? No trains this time? So a couple of days of recharging batteries before you go all head in with this afternoon tea parties that you're planning? So is that just you're gonna do a big afternoon tea party thing just to get like the full experience, or are you gonna make it into like a once a week type of thing? Train is a lot more comfortable. I cannot imagine why did you decided to drive this time. But I totally get that you're tired of just after. I can't even imagine driving in Tokyo. So yeah, I totally get that you might be very tired after that. You think she wants to do it every day? Every day? That's ambitious. But I guess you can do some things and they will be good for like a day or like a couple of days. Some like if you make desserts, some desserts do hold up for a couple of days. So I guess you can do, you don't have to do everything every day. You can have some like pre-made. So maybe it's not that much of a trouble thing. I'm guessing what you want every day is freshly still warm baked scones. You're buying pre-made ones. Okay. I guess that's, you'd probably have a good choice or like good selection to choose from that would work. Maybe not the very typical afternoon tea type of things. You get the Japanese, whatever you feel like works best. Right, you don't even have an oven. Do you have an air fryer though? Because I have tried to make bread in air fryers and it does work. I made scones in my air fryer. I had to try it and it worked. They're too dry for you? So I'm guessing that's not on the table anyway. So it doesn't matter that you don't have an oven. Do you hear any background noise at the moment? I'm just curious. I'm doing some laundry and my washing machine is doing some very noisy spinning cycles right now. I hear it, but I don't know if you do. And it's good to know if you can hear that I'm doing laundry or not, for future reference. It's a soft humming. Makes sense. I have a door I could close and it would be less of a noise. Or I just don't do laundry next time. My neighbor did warn me that there might be some noises from upstairs. But I haven't heard any noises today. They were apparently getting, was it a new bed or a sofa delivered or something? So it was nice to get a little like notification, I guess, from my neighbor being like, oh, it might be noisy. Not that it's that noisy to get deliveries. Like, okay, furniture assembly and whatnot, it can be noisy. You thought it was yours? That was so you're also doing laundry today. I'm not the only one doing laundry on a Friday. Yeah, it feels so much better that my foot is feeling better. I am not walking on the crutches. I am walking very slowly and carefully. But at least I can move around more. I can clean again. Because when I had the crutches, my hands were busy. I couldn't even vacuum the floors properly, so that was annoying. And now I can clean, so try to not overdo things since the rest of my body is not too happy with everything going on. Maybe a slice of toast with butter and jam. Toast is nice. It can be warm. You toast them and they're warm, and that's what the scones are supposed to be. You went, oh, you went back to check out the stitch markers. I see, I see. You did Dottie's blanket earlier, you washed it? Or what did you do to it? Or with it? You got her one of those 3-tiered plate stands? Well, I guess that's like almost mandatory from what I've seen. And now my washing stuff is done because it beeped. It gets to hang out over there until I'm done here. And then I will be hanging it to dry. I do not have a dryer in my apartment. There is one in the washroom, but I do have a washer in my apartment, so I don't have to use the washroom. That's the thing here. I know I've talked about it a long time ago, but in rentals, you either have to have by the landlord either a like washer in the apartment or like a washing room in the basement or wherever. That's just a part of like renting in Sweden. That's just something that because we don't have laundromats. We have dry cleaners, but no laundromats and stuff like that. So I don't really have to have like a washer in my apartment. I do have one, which is really nice. But there's like washer, dryer, all sorts of things down in the basement. A drying, like a cabinet. And for bigger items, it's definitely nicer to go down there, like for rugs and duvets and... Now I need to check that one. Yeah, okay, 2 stitches. Oh, come on. I have sewed in the end over here, so it's a little bit tricky to get through the stitches. Here they're all convection machines. They wash and dry in the same one. Yeah, we've seen more and more of those over here, but I don't really hear a lot of good things about those. Like, they take forever, apparently, because they, like, have to cool down in between, and... I don't know. I've never tried one, so I can't really say if it's a good or a bad thing. They are getting more common, but it's definitely not something that has been around for a long time here. I guess it's good that it saves space. It's more common to hang things over there. Yeah. Very small loads take hours. It's 20 minutes to wash. It definitely sounds better to just wash it and then hang to dry. I guess if you put it on and then leave for work and it does whatever it wants to do all day and you're not home, then that's one thing. Unless you have to press buttons or something in between. Like if you can just start it and it does the whole wash and dry. So if you're busy working, then it sounds pretty convenient in a way. If it works like that. That's what I would assume, but I've never had one, so I don't know. I'm trying to like put some type of method to the madness into like my color placement on this one. I have no idea if it's going to turn out good or not, because I am pretty much just looking at the next 4 or 5 rows. Most of the time I have not looked at the whole complete pattern. I don't know. I have barely looked at pictures. There is different colorways suggested in the pattern designs. And there's the whole Facebook group with other people that have done this and inspiration pics and stuff, but I am totally just winging it. I do know that this wavy part is repeating itself, and that's the only thing I really like noticed when I glanced over at some of the pictures and be like, yeah, maybe I should do them all in blue. And the blue, I don't have as much of the blue in the pattern. I just felt like that was a nice pop to have like the blue leaves, and then see I have this little wave going around on here, and then we have the wave over here. So that's kind of how it's started. I did this little detail here with the blue, and yeah, I feel like I have something going on, but like I have no idea. I might be running out of the blue and have to opt to another color later on. I do have a lot of yarn, but I only have this, and I mostly have white and yellow, so I know I have to get more white and yellow into this to make sure that I have colors all the way through. That's why I decided to do the puffs in white, because puff stitches eat yarn. And I do have, well, quite a lot of the beigey colors here. There's like the beiges and in between over here, and then this larger section of beige. You also like the waves consistently in the blue? Yeah, that's why I feel like I'm gonna give it a try and see if I can keep it all the way through. You've lost Purgatory Blanket, like completely lost it. You've been decluttering, at least the digital decluttering. Have you decluttered the blanket away? I hope not. You were talking about like all the boxes that you wanted to do for like you were decluttering and having boxes to put things in, whatnot. And then you ended up having a little bit of a, I can't say it's a crisis, but when you didn't know whether you'd be staying or moving. So it felt like all of that got put to like the back burner. But did you start with all of that? Because I'm guessing if you just put that on pause, then maybe you're gonna find that blanket when you start sorting stuff again. I guess. Maybe, possibly. It's in your house, you just don't remember where. Something I can say about puff stitches, from all the puff stitches I have done now, they are a lot easier to make, and I do appreciate that they look very consistent. So practice makes perfect, even though I don't like making them. But they do feel very consistent in like the height and the look of them. It was chaos mayhem with back and forth panic, maybe, maybe not, maybe. Totally get it. But now you have more of a clear plan. I think I remember something about you saying that when you're done with this, is it 3 more years that you'd be moving back stateside? you have a generalized idea of a couple of places it could be in the cold room. And you plan to go dig for it, or are you just gonna leave it for wherever it is until you accidentally stumble upon it? Oh, you're thinking about staying longer if you can? Hmm. Well, I know you like it over there. So definitely not a surprise that you're saying that you want to stay longer. So how cold is it now? You got snow and stuff? I have no idea how cold it would be this time of year in Tokyo. I'm not expecting snow in Tokyo, but like outside of Tokyo, I definitely see snow. Or if it snows, it probably doesn't stay for long. It snowed last week. Yeah, I just assume that there's quite some snow in some places because Japan is doing good in the Winter Olympics. They gotta have somewhere to practice. Mountains is a good place to practice snowy sports. Right, you did have the Winter Olympics a few years ago. Wasn't that Nagano or something like that? Wasn't that what the town city was called? Yeah, I was right. Or remembered correctly, I guess. And next row, I'm supposed to. There we go. Yeah, soon the season of all the pink cherry blossom trees going all crazy. I bet you're looking forward to that. My mom was talking about maybe going to Tokyo later this year for some Pokemon event. She's still in New Zealand, but she did have a pop over to Australia for a Pokemon event over there. Meh about the cherry blossoms, you've seen them so many times. It's not as fun anymore. I guess the first spring was a bit of a bigger hype about it, but now you've seen it for a couple of times, so maybe not the same. It does make sense though. Yes, my mom is going especially to go play Pokemon. She has, yeah, she's been all over the place. She's already been in Tokyo to play Pokemon Go. She's been to Las Vegas. There's been a couple of events in Europe that she's gone to. Her friend that she is currently staying with in New Zealand, she met through playing the game. So she's kept going down to New Zealand a couple of, well, I want to say she's been there at least once a year for the last 5 years or so. And now there was a Pokemon event in Australia at the same time as that. There was a shooting at Bondi Beach, so she was there at that time because she messaged me saying like, oh, I'm safe. She was around the Opera House at the moment. I was like, yeah, I know you were talking about going over to Australia, but I never got the details of what days you're going to be over there. She's like, yeah, I'm here right now, and there's stuff going on. It's like, yeah, maybe not the most fun time to be there. She also said something about, like, Taylor Swift having a concert around the same time that she was going over there, and that, like, hotels were, it was hard to find hotels because everything was booked for people wanting to see Taylor Swift. Yeah, she's been playing it, well, I guess since the release, very actively. And now she's retired, so she's got a lot of time to go and play. But there's been, like, weekends, and I think she went to Madrid. Yeah. Them little creatures got my mom traveling all over. But I totally agree with her. She's going to travel for as long as she can, or as much as she can now, because she recently retired. As long as her body allows her to. Because she doesn't know, like, in 5 years, she might not be able to do it anymore. Oh, you had a lot of cherry blossom trees in the US, so you were over it before you even came to Japan. I have some pink cherry trees right outside my living room window, so it's kind of nice, actually. You were into Pokemon Go in the beginning when when it released. You're still into it, but you've never been to an event. Well, maybe one day you will. There might be events close to you, so you don't have to travel far. Yeah, traveling in a car with my mom, every time you go from one place to another, and there's like a bit of a travel distance, multiply by two. Because she's gonna take detours to go and do stuff um, Pokemon related. So car rides, yeah, they take a lot longer. She likes to play all time. May 29th to June 1st is the Pokemon Go Fest in Tokyo, so I guess that's when she's going to be there. She has to go to all the stops. Yes, she does. You get Pokestops from the train, you understand. Stops are a must, and the gyms are even more so. I actually never tried it, so I don't really know what it's all about. She has a little, or she has a bunch of different like little clickers. I guess it's just connected to the phone, so they buzz when there's something around, and she can just press a button on in her hand. She always has it like on her wrist whenever she's out and about, because there might be something in the vicinity, and it buzzes, and she presses the button, and hopefully she catches something. So when she's been out and about with my kids, they get to babysit the button, and they get to press the button for her. So they get to be included in playing. And they do love to have the little buzzer. I think it flashes and vibrates, and they get to press a button. The small things are the most satisfying things, right? Like me and yarn. Don't take a lot to make me happy, right? Some new yarn, some new stitch markers, some new hooks. I'd definitely, every day of the week, I'd take yarn over flowers. Indeed. Ooh, and we got great news yesterday. Um, so Minimi starts school this fall, and now we know what school she starts, because there's a couple of options. We have the public school that is closest to us, which is where she, like, if you don't have any requests or any stuff, then that's where she'd end up, the closest school, the closest public school. And she's been wanting to go to another school because that's closest to where we used to live, and that's where Big Kid went. So she's been wanting to go there because he went there, right? Uh, and that's outside of our area, so it's like, okay, we can always put it in as a request, but there's no guarantees. And we did get notified that we did not get that one. We got the closest one to us, which was expected. But there is a closer school to us, and it's a private school. And it is, for me, it's about 250, 300 meters out just that way. It's another building in between, so if that building wasn't there, I would be able to see to the school. and it's just up the hill. And since her dad moved, he is very close as well. It's like 150 meters from his apartment to school, and he can see the playground from his balcony. Because I am downhill from the school and he's uphill from the school. So that's where she's going to be, in the private school. And we also know a bunch of the kids that's already enlisted there. So she's going to have some familiar faces in the playground, which is awesome. But that's already, yeah, we got that confirmed yesterday that she's going to be starting there. We did get, like, because of course there's like a queue system, and I did put her in the queue when I moved to where I live now. And she was like first reserved, like, yeah, the first one in line after they figured everything out. So it was like, yeah, maybe, almost, we're almost there. And then I guess someone said no to their spot, so she got in. I can't keep flowers alive. Well, yeah, that is true. I don't really do well with flowers. I do have 5 current plants living here. I got 2 like aloes, another, is it called succulent? Yeah, one of those other, it's got round leafy leaves. And then there's, I don't know what they're called, the other ones. My dad has a plant in his bathroom, and that plant has been in the bathroom as long as I've lived. So I got some offshoots from that one. And I have no idea how long that one's going to survive. But fingers crossed I got that. There has been a couple of plants that has disappeared from here very recently. I did get some flowers on my birthday though. Minnie-Me's grandma came over with a box of chocolates, and there was some roses, pink carnation. I don't know. There's something, and they looked good for over a week, so that's all good. Hello, Shabberton. How are you doing? Thank you for the thumbs up. Hope you're having a good day and that you're gonna have a great weekend. You're sitting staring at my hands. Maybe it's time to put a hook in your own. Maybe. What will you be working on? What's your current project that is speaking to you? Do you have a bunch of different projects laying around? I don't even know how many projects I have around at the moment. I got the temperature blanket. I got this one. I got the project I started during some of the days in the Olympics because I was out and about. I got the lava poncho. Oh, I finished something the other day. I finished a dress that I started from Mini-Me when Rita did her first Stanley haul that was sent to my old place before she moved back to Sweden from Norway with her mom, because we ordered the yarn to be delivered to my place so she didn't have to get it to Norway and then bring it back to Sweden. It was just sitting at my place for like half a year or so. And I started a dress because I wanted to try one of the muffin cakes, and that finally finished. I finished that one just a few days ago because it's all like just double crochet, so it's been easy to like just have with me. How about we do like so, and I can move back a bit so you can see the whole I think it's Abigail's fairy dress, the pattern, and the cake is going from light pink through like mauvey colors to like a lavender. So I want to do some blocking with this one to get it a little bit flowier. But it's nice. She can twirl around and it's gonna spin around with a nice flare. There's a bunch of these points. So a little bit of blocking to get them a lot more pointy, like so, is what I'm gonna do. And it's also gonna make it a bit longer. But it's finally finished, which took way longer than it needed, because yeah, I've been working on this for what, 2 years? 2.5 years or so? Quite some time. And it's almost a full cake. I did have some pink that I cut off the cake because I did start another pattern first and then I wasn't happy about it. So I unraveled that, but I never used that extra pink. I should have, but I didn't. So I do have some left of this. But I just used the whole muffin cake. It's 2,000 meters of acrylic yarn. But it's awesome. You can barely see the color changes. They're so nice. You can see that there's a change, but it's like so slight, which I love. Of course, the beginning here with the full solid pink is a lot more noticeable, but after that it's just very gradual. At least this color combination is very slow fading, but it's done. So some blocking and then it's all done. That's the only thing left with that. But you guys, I see I do finish things occasionally 2.5 years later. Yeah, that Stanley order there was a lot of yarn in that one. I am thinking already about new projects. Is that a good or a bad thing? I don't know. Will I finish projects when I continue to think about new projects? I need to finish this blanket though. This blanket has a purpose. So this one is prioritized and it's also very fun. The stitch variation, the colors, it is definitely keeping my interest going in a nice way. So it's not like I feel like, oh, it's boring, I need to put it down for a bit. Then normally I don't feel that way about a lot of projects. I guess the trio blanket is slightly, I don't think it's boring, but it is very repetitive, which can be really nice from time to time. Just sit there and do the same thing over and over again and don't think about it. And now my foot is feeling better, so I definitely feel like I can put it back on my lap again. That blanket is heavy. That's why it's been put to the side. This blanket is starting to get a little heavy, but it's not even close to that blanket because that one's almost finished. If I just put my mind to it, I think that the other blanket could be done in, well, a fairly short period of time, to be honest. We're talking like maybe If I don't do anything else, I'd probably have it done in maybe a week or two. But I have my focus on this one, so. I am curious to see how big I'm gonna be able to get this one with the yarn I have. I am curious to see what Olympics, what more they have to bring. The more like unknown names in the Olympics. See if there's any like very unexpected names that can manage to get some medals. I like those. The ones that you like, the underdogs. Yes, you're not counting on them. You dozed off. Well, you need to rest. You need to rest your leg. So totally understandable that you dozed off. So how are you feeling though? Like with your leg, is it really painful, or is that taken care of? And I hope you have a good amount of yarn to keep you company. Because that's definitely what the doctor prescribed when you have pain and hurting things, legs and whatnot. Cuddle some yarn. Let your hook make some magic stuff. Have to move it around a little bit. Taking up so much space in my lap. Not really. It could be worse. But it's starting to grow pretty fast now. I did a little mistake a couple of rows back, but I'm leaving it and I'm working with it. This darker row of beige after I did these puff stitches. Apparently I was supposed to do two half double crochets in the corners. I'm not mad at all about the fact that I missed that it was supposed to be two, because it does look a little bit more like even with these spaces. And luckily I was supposed to do two of these stitches, and then on the row after I was supposed to skip one of them. So I didn't skip. I just continued without the skipping part, since I clearly skipped on the row before that. So the stitch counts turned out good anyway. I feel like that was a lucky thing, because I figured it out when I was about to start the next round. I was like, yeah, no, I just missed how I was supposed to do the corners on the previous row. And that would mean frogging the whole row to redo the first corner, so that I could redo all the other corners. But I found a workaround, and I do like how this looks. This looks a little bit more, I guess, intentional in a way. Yeah, that was my stomach, in case you heard it. I'm sorry. Some growling over here. Don't really know why. Do you love playing Pokemons as well? Yeah, I've never tried it. It's my mom's obsession. Yeah, a lot of Pokemon people here. Something that I thought was kind of cute. Not everyone seems to be knowing where like how Pokemon was like invented, like the word, like what it means. But it's just like a shortened version of Pocket Monsters or Pocket Monster. And I did see I don't know who it was, but it was like a reaction to someone finding out what it means and being like, oh wow, really? Totally mind blown. It's like Pocket Monsters, Pokemon. It's just faster to say it that way. But now you know. Sometimes it's the simple things that is the answer. And sometimes the answer is 42. Apparently that's the answer to a lot of questions. Nighty nighty, Spoon. It was awesome to catch up a little bit. And go and enjoy your afternoon teas. Let me know how it turns out. Maybe some pictures? Or have you stopped taking pictures because you've been decluttering pictures? So maybe you're also limiting the amount of pictures you take? I don't know. Ooh, shorts of afternoon tea plating. That would be awesome. I approve. Fill that 3-tiered afternoon tea plate up and make it look all fancy, Japanese edition. You make me want to go and have afternoon tea, but I don't even think that there's a place I can get that in Sweden. It's just not a Swedish thing. I don't know. I have to search. There's a couple of things that I've been like, I want to try this, and there's no place to try it in Sweden. You're sort of lost on content creating until you figure it out. You don't know where to go, what direction you want to go with your content. Well, at least you have some ideas. And that is perfectly fine. A lot of places in Sweden do afternoon tea, but Stockholm is main bet. Yeah, I totally would guess that. Doubt that it's the same as the UK version, though. You're over the marble obsession? So what's the next obsession? Book talk and mobile games has been a thing. Marbles. Always a little bit of yarn here and there. The red hats. Did you find a place in Stockholm? Are you Googling for me? Do you have a name of a place that you find? You're still listening to the books, but you don't want to make content of it? Well, yeah, no, you don't have to make content of it. I'm just, now we're talking about your obsessions. The most recent obsessions. Yeah, there's a whole other thing of the book talk stuff. You're losing interest in the phone game? You'd need a new obsession. Ooh, tricky. Anyone want to inspire Spoon to some new possible obsessions? I only have yarn, so I don't know if that's very helpful. And the purgatory blanket is lost. Resin, perhaps? Could that be a thing? I have never heard of that place. Kanderbaren. Almost spring. You should get obsessed with going outside. You already did resin. And Teaspoon is into afternoon tea at the moment. we haven't mentioned something, and I bet you're curious to know that nothing is going on with the volcano on Iceland. My little secret obsession. There is barely any earthquakes. There's barely anything going on, but the land is keeping on lifting up, lifting up, lifting up. So at some point, it's gotta break. The level of land rise has just, it's above the previous levels when it has popped. But this volcano is being stubborn at the moment, so nothing's going on. We get like a earthquake a day. Some days it's been like 4 or 5, and then nothing, which is frustrating. Crafty Moo, hello, hello. You have the day off. Well, that's nice. You get to be crafty. Or do you have any of those like pesky chores and stuff that just needs to be done? I can definitely keep you company while you do that. But I do hope that you get to sit down and maybe hug some yarn or something. You gathered ginkgo leaves, dried them, and made resin things. You check the volcanoes at the start of my live stream. I do have notifications every time there's an earthquake. There's things going on in my ears, and there's been nothing. So there's nothing going on. I did do a couple of rows on the volcano or the lava poncho recently. I was like, maybe I just need to pick it back up again and work on it. That's why we're not getting anything going on over there, because I put it to the side for a bit. But that didn't help either. It did not seem to do the trick. But something's got to give at some point, right? Oh, Grand Hotel. Okay, so there's a specific place in... Well, I totally get that that could be a place to go. And that's, like, very fancy. So that sounds very expensive. No chores. Good. Crochet all day. What are you working on? I am working on a blanket. Now I just need to double check my corners, since I clearly didn't know what I was doing previously. But it looks like my corners are good. Yep, that one's good. That one's good. Just double checking, so I don't have to worry about next row. Crochet all day, that's the best days. I don't have one of those days today, but I don't have to cook dinner today, so that's a plus for me. I have no idea really what's for dinner. The only thing I have requested is that my dad makes some homemade sauce. And I think most likely he's gonna go for my requested, or like my favorite one, which is green peppercorns. And in that one he has some, is it, I know he put some type of, is it cognac in it maybe? And then he does some flambeing things with fancy stuff. I do like that sauce. So I would assume a piece of meat and some maybe potatoes, oven baked something maybe, and a salad. That sounds like it would be a nice dinner for a Friday. But it's also like what I requested for my birthday. Like, I want dinner where my dad makes a sauce. He's actually really funny when it comes to his sauces. Because it's just a thing he's been doing for the last few years. Whenever he does homemade sauce, like it could be a béarnaise sauce, it could be anything really. He's been filming himself and putting it on Facebook. Like today's sauce, it's not like anything about the rest of the dinner. It's just like whatever sauce is, that's his thing. So he's been making sauces and putting that on Facebook. So of course that's, it's been too long since I had that type of dinner. And I am way not as good as him when it comes to sauces. I am better at making cold sauces. Like I'd like to have a cold sauce with like fish or like more dipping sauces, like fish sticks, chicken nuggets. I do like to make my own sauces for that. You're working on a daisy square by Hooked by Robin. You're going to make them into bags for Easter. Well, that sounds cute. So last side of these half double crochets. I think I've been pretty productive. I want to say I was sewing in the beige at the beginning of the stream, so all the blue is now. So that is third row now. Yep, I feel productive. And also some show and tell. And we've been here for 2 hours. Yep, that's productive. This is actually a combo. This is Hooked on Sunshine design. And this is the Mixology Edition 3, so it's 3 patterns combined into one. So the first pattern part is the center, and then this is taken from another pattern of hers. So there's 3 different patterns combined into one. And I actually got this bundle of patterns because, yeah, it's the three patterns. I did get the bundle of these patterns because I participated in a competition, Hooker versus Hooker, a while back. And I did use this center circle of this pattern called, I want to say this is Hooked on Christmas. And I made, actually, I have it here, so I can show you that. I made a bag out of the same pattern. This is acrylic yarn, it's a DK weight. This is cotton in a mercerized 1 weight, and I think I used a 2mm crochet hook for that. So you can tell the difference of this. So I won Hooker versus Hooker. We had to do a floral theme accessory in blue, yellow, purple, and a neutral color of our own choosing. So I got this charcoal gray as my neutral, and I did actually do it twice. So I did front and back with this pattern, and then I just made a strap and a little flower. So flower themed accessory. This looks like a flower. We have more flower. Can't go wrong, right? But I did really enjoy the process of making this. And then this blanket, I recently made another blanket, and I took that pattern from the bundle that I got. I have not come to any parts of that pattern yet, but that's gonna come later on. Because, yeah, this is the Hooked on Sunshine. No, Hooked on Christmas. And then this is the one I have a hard time pronouncing. And then the pattern that I did the other blanket, it's a Ardith Big Girl, and that's gonna be coming later on. So I did like that blanket. I was like, yeah, no, I need to do these patterns. Like, I love the designer. I have done a bunch of different other patterns by her before. I am currently working on a temperature blanket with another of her patterns. So this is January. This pattern is Thingamabob. And February is looking like this so far. So it is a bit colder in February. As, yeah, all these blue colors are very cold. The greens are warmer. So this is so far in February. And I have some more colors coming later. I have, this is my color scheme. So we have the coldest over here. And then we're going over to, well, tealish, purple, and pinks. And this is like eggplant. That's my joining color. Also, I did use that. February has, you know, fewer amount of days. And I figured all the months that has 30 days, I will start them so you can tell, like, if it's a month with a shorter amount of days by the little purple beginning, because it's going to be a lot of purple anyway with the joining. I did do one row with the purple over here, so that's what it's going to be looking like. But it's going to be fun when we come into like the warmer temperatures. It's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. As you can tell, I do love the designer. I do love her way of writing patterns, and they turn out gorgeous. So I had to try this one as well, because I haven't done this. I'm not sure, since this is a mix between 3 patterns. I have done partially one pattern because I only did the Ardith Big Girl until I ran out of yarn, basically. And, well, I have done the beginning of this one 3 times, but I've never done the rest of the blanket. So I don't know if I'm gonna do like the full blanket at some point, or the other blanket that I did a part of here. I don't know if I'm gonna do that fully. We'll see. I never know. But it definitely is a possibility. I did, is it Doodad and whatchamacallit? I've done those multiple times because they are perfect for baby blankets, and they're like repeater patterns, so you can make it how big or small as you want. So I do like that. Some of these other patterns are not repeaters. No wonder I won. Well, you never know. I did put some effort into that. I guess there's a little bit of a competitive person in me somewhere. But I do like the challenge. I'm not so much for simplicity, I guess. Like with the temperature blanket, I definitely could do the same stitch over and over. I'd rather not most of the time. I need a challenge. I like to challenge myself. You think you have a UFO over somewhere? Fine weight yarns. Well, that's mostly my go-to. This blanket had different type of criterias, so that's why we're not going that fine. But like the temperature blanket, I'm using this really thin yarn. Friend's Wheel is like, if you've tried Hobie's Twister, is a 2-weight cotton acrylic blend. And this is, I guess it's more of a go-to type of yarn for me, like thickness wise. And these blankets turn out awesome. In the thinner yarns, it just takes forever. This is a D-Crate acrylic. I needed a good blanket amount of yarn. I am doing this for a family member that recently got diagnosed with breast cancer and will have to spend some time, you know, with treatments, and treatments usually don't make you feel so good, and you can feel very cold. And I have done this to other previous, other family members previously, that I've done like blankets or shawls or so, that they can keep themselves warm with. And in this case, this person already has a shawl made by me, so it felt like a blanket was needed this time. So I had a blanket amount of this yarn, as well as it was some bright, cheerful colors, which I think is needed also. But I don't have to worry about washing, because you can wash it and you can dry it, which can be needed. So I feel like that's important, that you don't have to worry too much. Because you might not have energy to take care of it. With, you know, hand washing a blanket is maybe not what you feel like doing when you're not in your best shape. And I do feel like there will be a little bit more weight to it since it's thicker. Thick and squishy and colorful. And washability. Things you might not think about, but it felt like it was important to think about that in this case. Also, like, I do think about washability with baby blankets, because they will need to be washed. Maybe not tumble dried, but they at least need to be able to be washed in the machine. But it wouldn't, this is not a color combination I would just pick by myself. I don't think I would have ever combined these colors if not the fact that this is the colors I had. And the amount is enough for a decent sized blanket. So I just had to go for it. And it does look good so far. There's 3 bright colors with this egg yolky type of yellow, very, very hot pink, and petrol type of bluish color. White and 2 different shades of beige. I want to say like one beige, and is it like an ecru? I think is common name for the other one. It's a good enough color combination to work. It pushed me out of my comfort zone, I'll tell you that much. It took a little bit of a testing to see if it would work. Well, I didn't really test, I just jumped head first, but there's some second guessings and whatnot along the way. I think I might have to cut the yarn here and sew some ends. Or can I somehow manage? I'm gonna try and see if I can do this without cutting. I might have to. But if we do like so. Okay, now I am where I need to be. But does it look weird if I do it like this? Well, I'm where I need to be. So how about I go from here with this kind of try. Yep. And now I'm gonna do the waves. So it's gonna look like this little shell wave. These little puffy bits. And why does it feel like I didn't do that right? But I did. It feels like it because the previous row was worked only in the back loop. And it stretches a bit, so it does look a little bit different. There. This is a row that feels like it's taking a lot of time because I'm actually not adding to the height or width of the blanket. I'm only working like in the previous round, adding a little bit more of a 3D effect instead of adding to the size. Well, maybe a little bit, but I'm gonna be working here behind these stitches in the next row. You haven't been typing, you've actually been looking at where your hook is going. So what are you working on? Since you're hooking away over there. I just realized that I need to just check if the stitch marker I am thinking of is gonna look good with this if I'm color matching. Come here. Come here, you little one. Kind of. That could work as a little stitch marker for when I put it down. A little hanky. Hello, Athel. Thank you for another thumbs up. Suzanne, hello, hello. How are you doing today? Sophie's dream in 2-ply. Working in the post from 2 rounds ago. That sounds like you are a busy bee. There's Choberton still. You've been hanging out in the scrap basket, lurking away. Thanks everyone for hanging out in my scrap basket, being all cozy. Lurk away as much as you want. It's kind of cozy in my scrap basket. It's a great place to hang out. And just because we haven't been in the scrap basket for a while, so we can take a look at it. See, it's a cute place to hang out. It's all back posts. Cindy Lulu, hello, hello. How are you doing today? Good to see you. So are people waking up and bringing their morning coffee? Or for some it might be lunch break, perhaps? Hope you're all doing good. Lurking in the scrap basket drinking coffee. Well, that sounds like a good way to start. Thank you, Cindy. Well, it's slowly growing. I've done all the blue part during the live stream. But it is looking like this so far. We have the big round center flower. And then we got some more fun stuff going on. And where I'm going right now, I'm doing another of these like little wavy bits. It's gonna come on this section here. 12 thumbs up now? Thank you so much. Well, they keep adding as people keep waking up, or yes. More and more of you guys coming to hang out, which is awesome. I'm just happy that I got to hang out with some of you today, since it's been a week. And Mini-Me is coming home today. She's not just coming home today, it's her birthday today. So we will be busy birthday partying with my dad's tonight. And tomorrow it's birthday party with cousins and uncle, and then it's going to be a full busy week with her. So it's going to be way too long before I have the opportunity to come and hang out with you guys. So I had to take my chance today. And with that I mean I hope my back is not going to be really annoying, because it has been. My foot is better, so there's that, but my back is not agreeing with me instead. Crutches? No. I did not like that. Oh, come on now. She's 6 today, and she started the morning with, I want to wear lip gloss to daycare. Like, okay, it's your birthday. Only for today. Where are we going with this? She's 6 and she wants lip gloss to daycare. I was not like that when I was 6. I didn't even know what makeup was when I was 6. Or barely. Why is it being splitty all of a sudden? Silly yarn. You're gonna put your hook down and go piddle. I have never heard of that, but I can guess. That's a new word. Silly yarn starting to split on me. That is no nice. I need to remind myself that when I end the live stream, I have laundry to go and hang up before I do anything else. I only have to do laundry and I guess change clothes. That's what is needed before heading towards my dad's place. So that is nice though. I don't have a lot of things to do. I've done plenty of things today, so I'm happy with that. I feel like this has been a very productive day. I just need to remember the laundry, because it would be a bad idea to have that hanging around for too long in the washer. What will be the party food this evening? Well, I hope something yummy, since I don't have to cook it. But my request is some type of sauce made by my dad. And my guess is probably a piece of meat and some potatoes with that. Hopefully it's a green peppercorn sauce, but I don't know. He could be in the mood to make another type of sauce. I guess it also depends on like what type of meat he felt was a good well, what he could find at the store that looked good. That's my guess. And Minimi is most likely gonna have fries and nuggets or hot dogs or something, because that's, you know, kid food that she likes. And we did order a cake for tomorrow, for Mini-Me, with a picture on top of it of Anna and Elsa from Frozen. So she's gonna have a big chocolate cake with a Frozen themed chocolate cake for tomorrow. But I'm guessing some type of dessert will be happening tonight as well. Need to figure out what's for dinner tomorrow though, because we're gonna be pretty full of eating cakes and cookies and whatnot, but we still need to eat. So I need to think about that. I have not planned that far ahead. I have planned for snacks and such since it's Melodifestivalen tomorrow, so there's snacks required in front of the TV with the song contest. Do you have any fun weekend plans, or anyone have any fun weekend plans? Are you keeping up to speed with the Olympics? I don't know what Olympic stuff is going on this weekend. It's just so many other things with the party planning and such, so I don't know if there's any good chances for Sweden to get any more medals. I hope so. But maybe not this weekend. I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to watch some replays next week or so when I'm not as busy. Every Saturday you have a 4-hour video call. You haven't watched any Olympics? Ooh, it's your son's 40th. You're going out for Japanese food Saturday. And a family get together Sunday lunchtime in a pub. Oh, I am so jealous. I do really like what I've seen from like the UK pub culture type of thing. We don't really have that here. So it feels like it's very like cozy to go and hang out in the pub. I bet I can sit in a pub and just crochet all day and watch people watching. Yep, that would be awesome. Maybe not the most typical way to spend your time in a pub, but that sounds like something I'd like to try. I'm in Sweden. I am very much Swedish. I have never been to the UK, but it would be fun to go. You're a little bit envious of Miss Moo. Over the years, I've had quite a lot of people that I've gotten to know that lives in the UK. And there's so many things that I was like, I'd like to try this, I'd like to try that. And then there's certain things I definitely wouldn't like to try. Like some foods are very weird. You haven't been to Sweden. Well, not many people have, no. You've been all over Europe, but you'd love to go to Sweden. Well, if you ever find your way over to Sweden, come visit. Shopping arrived. You have some like groceries or something you need to tuck away. Very convenient these days that you can do like online shopping and have most things delivered to the door. I definitely do prefer to walk around in stores myself. See what I want to buy, people watching, just get out of the house for a bit. And also it is more expensive to get home delivery. So I rarely do that. But yeah, I don't get out of the house very often, so it is one of the few times I do go out. Besides getting Mini-Me back and forth to daycare and the occasional doctor's appointments and whatnot. You're a hermit too? Well, it is kind of cozy to be at home all day, but it's not going to be like this forever. There's changes that will happen at some point or another, so my plans kind of got a bit derailed with my fracture in my foot. Otherwise, things would have been different already. But as soon as my foot has healed up, I will have to do some stuff. At least get out of the house more than I have been for some time. For a couple of hours a day. And meet some new people. Hopefully it's going to be turning out good. We'll see. It was next door shopping. Oh, they also do shopping apparently. Okay, so now we have a whole first row of these shells. 3 more sides to go, because I just, yep, 1 side out of 3. I think I'm supposed to do 3 chains. Yes. I have done this a couple of times now with this wavy pattern being on this one. And I did it on this one over here. But there's also a section in this one. So I have done this so many times that I know what I'm supposed to do without having to think about it. Or enough times, I should say. Oh, you did some shopping and then you're gonna do a live and you might get the shopping during the live? Yeah, that's not the best planning, maybe. What time are you starting today? I'm unfortunately not gonna be there because, well, I have a busy evening schedule. But I know you usually do sometime in the, like, not that late in the Fridays. Just seem to be missing out on things more times than not. Okay, so you just have to keep your fingers crossed that it's gonna be after your live. You forgot to pick up your hook. Yeah, I could tell you were typing a lot. So now you're gonna keep your hands busy for a bit again. Back to the hooking part of things. Oh, come on now. Wiggle, wiggle. Thank you so much. I don't know if you can tell, but it's easier for me to work this row like sideways, if that makes sense. I've kind of turned the whole project, so I'm holding it more in this way instead of like what I normally would, crocheting this way. Or at least from time to time I twist it. Like so, holding it like this. It is a little bit different, but I do recommend changing things up from time to time, especially with stitches that is a bit different. You might have to be a bit creative. You're on your second corner. You could tell that I was turning things around. I asked you something and you were counting and you don't remember what I asked. I don't remember what I asked. It can't be that important. Maybe what time you were going live today? That could have been the question. Or at least I don't think I saw an answer to that question. 8 p.m. on Fridays for me, so 7 o'clock for you. Yeah, I'll probably be busy stuffing my face with dessert by that time. Knowing my dad. Okay, 6 p.m. for you, so 7 p.m. for me. Yeah, no, it's only 1 hour between us. UK time is 1 hour behind little Sweden. You learn so many new things, fun facts during, like, events. Like Olympics. They're full of surprises and weird information you never thought you'd come across. Like curling stones. Did you know that they come from a little island outside of Scotland? I think it's called Isla Craig or something like that. And they are like the main producer of curling stones. I had no idea. And that's just a small little random fact that I thought was fascinating, so it stuck in my head. Curling stones are made out of granite in 2 different colors, apparently. A blue and a green type of granite. And now you know that. I bet you did not expect to hear that from a crocheter talking about curling stones made out of granite from Isla Craig. Then again, we've already discussed the topic of volcanoes on Iceland and the lack of earthquakes, which frustrates me because it's got to be an eruption soon. Oh, right, we did spend some time down the rabbit hole of Pokemon Go as well. To not forget. You never know what's gonna happen when you come and say hi to me, you know? This is a pick and mix type of candy bag. So many things you could mix out of the candy selection. Or, yeah, the candy store is always full of stuff here. Oh yes, afternoon tea was also a topic. True. Speaking of afternoon tea, there is a YouTuber. I think she is one of the ones that I found during my afternoon tea YouTube rabbit hole adventure. She's called Hannah Ricketts, and she went from testing different afternoon teas all over London to now testing like 5-star hotels and food places. And she should be probably popping a video today, because she usually has a video on Fridays when she tests 5-star hotels. And on Wednesdays, I think it is that she, or is it Tuesdays, that she takes us out on a lunch date to eat somewhere. So I might have a hotel video to watch whenever I have time between the Olympics, Melodifestivalen, birthday party celebrations. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. That is a little, like, I don't know, guilty pleasure. Because I know I would never be able to test all these 5-star hotels in London. They're expensive. Like, the price tag on some of the places she goes to, like, it's ridiculous. Your daughter took you to afternoon tea at the Ritz for your 60th birthday. It was amazing. Yeah, I can imagine. I have seen videos of afternoon tea at the Ritz. It looks really fun, some of these afternoon tea things. And it just feels like that's something you don't want to do alone. That's something you want to do with someone. Yeah, Spoon's teaspoon. Spoon's child wants to try afternoon tea, so they were gonna do it. They live in Tokyo. Due to her hubby being in the military and stationed in the Tokyo military base. That's where the afternoon tea topic popped up. Yeah, they have some weird desserts and food over there. She did say she was gonna go and buy like some baked stuff for the afternoon tea. She's not much of a like baking things. They don't have ovens in Japan. That's not a thing in apartments in Japan. They don't have ovens. So a lot of things you have to buy. I keep forgetting about that. She keeps having to remind me. She's like, I don't have an oven. I'm gonna forget it until the next time anyway. Almost at the other side. And then I have 2 more sides to go. It is not the fastest round, but it does look awesome. So it is worth it. So I'm guessing you guys drink quite a lot of tea, being in the UK, and the afternoon tea and just like tea culture in the UK is a big thing. Do you have a favorite type of tea, or is it like I drink so much tea I have an assortment to pick and choose from? I am very much just a coffee drinker, so it's like I want my coffee with milk. Often 50-50 because I'd rather have my coffee pretty much straight away, so I don't want to burn myself. So I just half milk, half coffee, and it's drinkable temperature right away. Yorkshire Gold always. I think there is 3 different types of tea. No, I have four different types of tea in my cabinet. And I don't really drink tea, which is, yeah. Peppermint tea with milk and honey when I have a cold. Vanilla tea with milk is also doable. I did get chai because I wanted to try what that was all about. Didn't impress me that much. And then I have some, I want to say it's like strawberry and rhubarb or something like that, that Mini Me likes. She is way more of a tea drinker than I am. But I guess it's always, good to have some tea in case there's someone that comes to visit. Coffee is the more common thing in Sweden, though. We have our fika, which is pretty much just coffee and some nice pastries or cookies and whatnot. We do like to fika. We're also like one of the countries in the world with like a high capita coffee drinkers. I think Finland is they drink more coffee than the Swedes, but we're high up on the list. You have an assortment just in case the rarity of somebody being a guest in your house, but you have 2 go-tos. 1 cup in the morning and 1 cup in the evening. We have these boxes, and I haven't seen them in a little bit. There's like the Lipton teas with a little bit, I think it's like 4 different berry type flavors. Like there's a black fruit, forest fruit, strawberry. Like those are very common to see in houses here. In case you get guests, there's, a little bit of a pick and mix for people to choose from. I used to have those. I haven't gotten any of those because I guess they were out when I was buying tea, and then I got some tea and then I didn't have to buy any tea. I have tea. I don't run through any big amounts of tea. Unless I have a cold. But that's because I don't like honey, and honey is good for you when you have a cold. So it's more like the way to get the honey down. If that makes sense. Oh, I bet you have a bunch of different type of tea. I think we have a lot of teas here, but I can only imagine because you're like a tea country. You're the only tea drinker in your entire family? You know what? I am feeling finished for now. 3 hours of fun. But this row, yeah. It is a little bit tiresome for my hands. But it does look good though. These waves. Yep. I'm really happy I picked the blue color for them because it really makes it look like waves. But the texture, like the popcorns here, it's really nice to like just sit and play with it. Textured blankets are really nice. If you don't have anything else in your hands, you can always like sit and pet the blanket. So that's good. That's been fun. Oh, I need some stretchies. So now I have maybe half an hour, 40 minutes to deal with the laundry and to get myself ready to go. I don't think there's anything else that I really need to do. Sophie's Dream is very much like the one I'm doing. Surface crochet and lots of texture. Yeah, I want to say it's the Sophie's Universe that I started once in a blue moon. Yeah, that's one of the first things I actually started. It's still laying around here, not finished. And I think that's where I've kind of figured out that I don't like sewing in ends. Because that had quite some ends to deal with. I did use a lot of scraps. Yeah, I did like it, but I definitely would do it differently next time if I'm doing that type of blanket. You have to do like the corners separately. Here with this one, you're squaring it off by doing like very, well, not tall rows, but then you do more on the corners, and in that one you're doing like the corner of itself separate, and then you have to do like the other one. So that's something I didn't really like, to do a corner at a time. I'd very much more appreciate doing it like this, to like slowly square it off by making the corners, well, taller stitches. Oh my god, I can't talk. You have ends unless you finish, because one cakes makes 3 squares. Oh, you have no ends. Well, I was using like 8-4 cottons in a mix of colors, just scraps. Like this one. This is a fancy one, organic Egyptian cotton, but I wasn't using, like, I was using one color a row pretty much, just switching back and forth between the scraps. I so much more enjoy using cakes now. That's why I have a full wall behind me of, well, cakes like those. You can't see them. The ones that I have behind me here, because there's so much other things in the way, but there's plenty of colorful cakes hiding over there. So with that, yeah, it's so much more enjoyable to make blankets and not have ends to weave in, or yeah. I have those that have been, they want me to do something with them. I don't know what. And I don't really, I don't know, it's not a color I like per se. It's not my go-to colors. But it does say make something with me. I don't know why, but I have two. There's one more there. I guess I'm just curious to see what these colors look like. But I'm definitely more of like a bright colors person, and these are kind of dull. So I don't know why this is speaking to me, but it is. Everything up there is like sparkly and limited and whatnot. That's special corner. So I don't think I'm gonna do anything with those anytime soon. You had to get the shopping. What awesome that you're back. It would be a nice wearable. Yeah, I do think I have enough for a wearable. I'm just not sure it's wearable, like colors I would wear. So I wouldn't be making it for myself in that case, I think. Yeah. But you guys, it's been awesome. I've had a lot of fun. Get to hang out with you guys. Let's see. This is how big it is so far. And I think it's gonna be a pretty good size with all the yarn I have. I have not yet gotten through any of the skeins. I do have 2 pink, 2 beige, 2 of the lighter beige, 4 yellow, 5 white, and about 4 of the blue. I think that's what it is. Yeah. And so far I haven't used a single skein fully. They are starting to look very deflated pulling from the center. But I do feel like there's gonna be, I need to use more of the white, yellow, and blue compared to the pink and the beiges. And I did use quite a lot of the beige in the beginning here, so it's going to be interesting to see how it turns out. But it does look nice, even though the colors are not what I would normally pick to combine with each other. Oh, there. Yep, it's looking good. So that one goes over there for now. You guys, it's been awesome. I have no idea when I'm going to be able to do a live stream next time. Probably not next week, because I have Mini-Me. I guess if she's at daycare, I might be popping in like this time-ish that I did now. A little bit of an afternoon stream for me. Morning coffee for all the UK peeps. No, the US peeps. Lunchtime for the UK peeps, yes. Have a lovely family birthday, long weekend of celebrations and smiles. Yes, that's what I'm planning to try to do. So birthday celebrations is all what this weekend is going to be about. And hopefully I'm going to have some energy next week and not just sleep the whole week, because yeah. But thanks everyone for hanging out with me. It's been awesome. I love you all. Bye bye.